Hi everyone. Welcome to Harappa School of Leadership's webinar. And we'll just wait a couple of minutes, probably another 2 minutes before we can get started. Meanwhile, please feel free to tell us where you're from. You can put that in the chat box. We'll be happy to know. Also, I hope I'm clearly visible and audible for all of you. If there's any concerns, then you can point out right away. And hello, Vinod from Bangalore. Really happy to have you. We hope that you enjoy with us. Ulka is from the Harappa School of Leadership team, and she's joining us from Delhi. Hi, Ulka. Thank you for being here with us.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Oh, I believe one of the attendees has raised their hand. So yes, please tell us, what would you like to say? Ulka, can you see?
Yes, if you could share your question in the Q&A, that would be great. It will help us keep a track of it better and we can get it answered live.
All right, so it's 7:33. I guess we should start off. We have a few people with us. So hello, good evening. Welcome to the Harappa School of Leadership's webinar on tailoring dreams the AMP way. Now, what exactly does that mean is what we're going to find out through today's conversation with Siddhant and Rishab. I'm Samriddhi, your host for the evening. And I would be thrilled to know where all of you are joining from. I guess I've heard from a couple of you, and the rest of you can also drop your thoughts in the chat box there. Another hygiene aspect is that if you have any questions, then please drop them in the Q&A box right here. And, our team will address that for you. Ulka will address that. So with me today here, I have Siddhant and Rishab. So Rishab, Siddhant, why don't we start with you? If you could just quickly introduce yourself, and Rishab will be joining us shortly. So we're just waiting for him. As soon as he's here, he'll be sharing his introduction as well. So welcome, Siddhant.
Thanks, Samriddhi. Thank you so much, and welcome all of you. And first of all, congratulations to everyone. You have taken first step to upskill yourself. At least this is the first step, is what I believe. Let me introduce myself. I am Siddhant Jha. I'm a customer success partner and product manager in people design. It's a design consultancy firm. I have been part of AMP program of cohort 1, the first cohort of this program itself. In my company, as of now, I've been part of it for like 4+ years, where I've managed multiple products as well as projects for B2B and B2C clients. Before that, I had my own startup, which I ran for 4+ years, and during that time, I kind of focused on developing nations and their needs, and catered their needs through creating solutions as a part of an app, Android apps during that time. Unfortunately, I had to close it due to several other reasons. Maybe we can discuss at the end, like when we get free. And then I joined this company, which I'm still in there. So yeah, that's a short brief about me, and I would share the to Rishab if he is there, or to Samriddhi.
Yeah, okay. So Rishab will be joining us in a bit. Before that, I can quickly jump to my introduction. I am Samriddhi Bhutani. I am an engineer who has turned into a media professional. I was initially in the VLSI industry, and then I wanted to explore. So I did the Young India Fellowship Program from Ashoka University, and then moved on to ABP Network to have about a 3-year-long career in the media. And that's when I also came across the AMP. I wanted to upskill. I wanted to build my understanding of strategy, and that's how I joined the AMP. So that brings me to a thought, that as a media professional, when I was considering the AMP, I was quite confused, whether I should go ahead with the AMP, because it's a management program. So could it really, cater to my creative and communication needs? Because the standard template for management is not exactly what I was looking for. I was wondering if I would really benefit from it. So what do you think, Siddhant? Did you have a very niche requirement, a specific need that you were hoping would be met by the AMP when you were considering it, when you were still in the phase of applying?
Yeah, definitely, Samriddhi. As you can see from my past, I had my own startup experience, and after unfortunate incidents, I am kind of focusing on okay, what we lacked during that time, and maybe once I kind of gather all those skills that was needed at that point in time, maybe once again I'll start the journey again. And that was a perspective for joining the AP program, because it was providing a variety of courses which gives you an idea. Obviously, it is not for creating you an expert in that field, but it gives you an idea, okay, how each of these sectors, or you can say the disciplines, are taken care of. This not only helps you to understand about each and every disciplines, but it also helps you in if you're in a company, whether you are a developer or a designer or even a CEO, it really helps that in communicating with the people who are working in those disciplines. So when you are able to kind of communicate in their own lingo, and they also see, okay, you understand about it, and it kind of encourages and increases the encouragement and empathizes with them as well. So it creates a culture where you can understand and share ideas with each other, and things can progress in that way. So that was the idea for which I joined this program. And to a certain extent, I really think whoever is in this line, AMP is a very good program for that. And if anybody has any queries in that line, maybe you can put down the questions, and I'll be happy to answer at the end of it.
Okay, thank you, Siddhant. So I just want to add to that. I'm still in that phase where, we're still considering, we're still applying, we're still thinking about it. So when I was, sort of thinking about it, I reached out to the program team, and I told them, I'm a media professional. So do you think I will be able to do something in this program? And they were quite welcoming, quite supportive. And they told me, yeah, why not? Go ahead and apply, and we'll see what happens. And then I ended up being the only one from the media in the batch, in the foundational cohort. So for you, when you joined, like you've mentioned that some of those needs were met, right? So when you joined, what really stood out for you? What worked for you? And of course, we'll get to the part that didn't work for you, but let's start with what worked for you.
Definitely a lot. First of all, one of the major things that I wanted to join AMP, because I was in between okay, whether to pursue an MBA or whether, because it's a costly affair and it takes time and effort in there as well, or whether to go ahead with similar programs like AMP. So the one major factor I enjoyed the most is the variety of the colleague, or I should say, my batchmates that were there. They had the humongous experience with a diverse field, and thanks to Samriddhi as well, like from media professionals to data analysts to any field you name it. There was a person representing from there, and from variety of experiences. Some was 10 plus years, some were just passed out, and maybe one or 2 years of experience. They brought very different levels of understanding of each and every field. And honestly, apart from being in the AMP faculty teaching us, we also learned a lot from our peers. So that was a very great opportunity that I felt during the whole AMP program.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that, Siddhant. So now that our esteemed co-panelist is also here, thank you, Rishab, for joining us. Let's jump into a quick introduction of yours, and we've already gone into, the thick of the discussion, but we're going to come back to you for some questions as well. So why don't you start?
Yeah. First of all, apologies for a little bit being late. I'll start with what I've been doing. So currently I'm working with Punjab Education Minister's office on various education reforms that Punjab is undertaking. I've been working in development sector for last 8 years. I started with as a teacher and a fellow. And then I have been working with, I co-founded a not-for-profit called Samriddhi, which was focused on parent engagement. And I've been working with Delhi government on various initiatives on scale, and with various not-for-profits. My area of work has been education, child rights, governance, and technology for development. So yeah, that's very briefly what.
Okay, that was quite brief. I think you should drink some water, and then we'll come to you for more questions. So Siddhant, coming back to you. Meanwhile, we just give Rishab a few minutes to rest. So what do you think did not work for you?
Honestly, one of the major things that when I went through the AMP program, I never thought, okay, it would be that intense. First of all, it is quite an intense program. So managing both the work and the experience level and the kind of work that you're doing on a day-to-day basis, and sometimes the classes being spilled over to the weekdays as well, that was quite challenging for me. And somehow time management is one thing that I kind of failed during this whole AMP program. And there were some shortcomings at certain areas, and that kind of led me, okay, I wasn't able to extract the best out of this AMP program. So this is something I would really recommend to whoever is thinking about joining this AMP program. Okay, make sure that the next 6 months of yours is free for you, because as you are seeking through okay, the MBA program, you want to condense it into a 6 months, will be quite intense. So make sure your weekends are free, and try to push all your activities that you do on weekends or any other major festivities or arrangements are there. Try to kind of seek, okay, it doesn't come during this program, because it takes a hell lot of time and energy from you. And obviously it is a fast-paced learning program, so you also have to put that level of energy into that to gain out of it, and not just pursue it as is. So that was the one major thing that I believe I lacked, and I was looking forward to, okay, how we can, in the upcoming cohorts, we can introduce these kinds of program, which I believe we do have now, it seems, because as in the cohort 1 and the Harappa faculty as well, they were quite iterative to kind of follow, okay, whatever shortcomings during the program as well, which it was coming, they were trying to resolve. just like you create a product, because I'm a product manager, so I think it in that way. Just as a product, you create an MVP and think around, okay, cohort 1 was with an MVP. And as we started using the product, they started iterating their program as well. And as now the cohort 4 will be starting, they have quite gone far ahead from what we were learning in cohort 1. The program in itself has been revitalized by taking the feedbacks from cohort 1 till cohort now 3. So yeah, I believe okay, you will be taking some suggestions, and I would be happy if somebody wants to get in touch to how to sail through these 6 months. Some tips from my side, from my failures as well as from my winnings, both. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you, Siddhant. I think I just want to add to what you were just saying about feedbacks and them sort of incorporating those feedbacks. So in the first batch, we did not really have a lot of time to work on our own, right? We did not have that space. And then we did, as a cohort, we gave that feedback. And I think in the second cohort is where those self-learning weeks were introduced. Rishab, do you want to tell us a little bit about that? Because I think you're from the second cohort.
Yeah, I think given how it has been very experimentative as well, the course itself. This we started learner speaks sessions where we it was a very self-learning, self-creative space beyond what was mandated faculty sessions, mandated by the course. And what it did was it allowed cohort to learn from each other, develop on the strengths of each other. For instance, in one of the learner sessions, what we did was a lot of deep dive into what agri-tech would mean and how one can pivot into. So one person came from that background. In one of the sessions, what we did was, before the data track, there was a lot of variation in how cohort had the skill set cohort had when it came to data. So one of the persons who was sort of expert in data science took sessions for us where it built our fundamental around data. A basic vocabulary was formed before even the data track could begin. So what these kind of, in one of the sessions, we were able to talk about as a soft skill, mental health, what it could do in workspaces. So this kind of self-learning initiatives, peer learning initiatives, what we were able to achieve was also sort of build on the strengths of the people in the cohort. Second, interact more with members of the cohort. Given it's an online course, and there is sort of the moments of physical interaction are limited. What it did, it helped build more cohesiveness within the cohort. So yeah.
Thank you. I think that's really helpful. And that sort of ties back to the theme of this webinar today, which is tailoring dreams the AMP way. Okay, so the program sort of works itself around you. It builds itself around you. It's both the peers as well as the program team that's sort of curated in a way that it caters to your specific needs, whether it is around agri-tech or mental health, etc., etc. Right? So that brings me back to the first question that I had asked Siddhant, and I want to now ask you, Rishab. So what was your specific need? What was that reason? What was driving you towards AMP, and what were you looking for when you joined this program?
Yeah. So if I were to summarize in very one line, I was looking for ways to upskill myself while I could bypass in a conventional MBA, because a conventional MBA comes with one, of course, a huge financial burden, but it also comes with an opportunity cost where one has to go for a 1 year or a 2 year full time. And given I've been in development space, in professional space for 8 years now, I wanted to continue doing that while having an opportunity to upskill myself. that being one, parallelly, I also wanted more diverse space for knowledge. So I've always believed a lot on first principles and integration. So tracks like economics, marketing, product, data, which conventionally is not part of the things that we do in development sector, help gave me a broader knowledge that I can now take back and integrate to the work that I do. And third was what I was also looking at was more deep dive into skill sets. So what AMP did for me was, for example, problem solving, writing, user research, need analysis, that we learned around marketing track. So in terms of knowledge, skill set, and as well as network, or one can say career opportunity wise, when I say I wanted to bypass a conventional MBA. So in all these three things I was looking at before joining AMP, and this is how I could sort of get out of AMP while doing the course and not having to leave my conventional job meanwhile. Yeah.
Okay, so you were working while you did the program, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So when you joined, like Siddhant has already answered, what was the one thing that really stood out for you? And what was the one thing that did not quite, meet your expectations?
Yeah. So I'll give you a very recent example. In one of the leadership sessions, the Pramath was taking, he really focused on that leadership essentially means delivering results. Beyond other things, what leadership means, it also means delivering results. That is one statement that has stood out for me. And to be honest, I think post that session, I've always focused in my work that is, am I delivering results? Are my actions leading to an outcome, positive, effective outcome for the client, for the organization, for my team, for the project, for my end customer or beneficiary whom I'm working for. So that's one small example of various skill sets and moments of realizations, or you can say aha moments, that I had during the AMP that I have taken away. Now, if you would ask me to bucket it into various domains, it might be difficult because these moments were across the board. For instance, marketing. I don't come from a marketing background, but I think after the marketing track, I've been looking at the world in a very different manner. To as a whole, how now when I go to malls, I see, okay, this is a brand, this is an icon, this is a logo, this is how it might have been designed, and how now how I can do the same thing while I'm working for children, while I'm working for women, while I'm working on improving health or education. I take back those sort of principles, how I can improve those communications. What didn't I would rather flip that question, that rather than didn't, I think I wanted to more deep dive into practices, application, doing as like a capstone project, or maybe doing more and more case studies. But I think that's also because of there's a deficit of time. So some of us have been trying to do it by our own. After the during the course, we did it on our own. But even after the cohort has ended, some of us are trying to sort of build use cases around that. So yeah.
So, Rishab, why don't you quickly tell us about your experience with the entrepreneurship track? That was quite interesting, and I'm trying to lead into something that I will be talking to Siddhant about right after this. So yes, why don't you start?
Yeah. So the session was taken by Saurabh, or the entrepreneurship track was covered by Saurabh. What I think, what in the what we were able to do within 4 or 5 sessions that entrepreneurship was for us was, we could go back as a group of 4 and 5 people in 5, that is 10 hours of track. We were able to think on a topic, do a lot of research. That the topic that we choose around was, how do we improve financial inclusion for women who come from a very low income background and who are homemakers. Uh, a topic that is more on the development side. We did a lot of research, use the principles of product marketing, problem solving. That is that we learned in AMP, and we were able to use those principles to sort of solve a problem for the development sector, and came up with a possible solution hypothesis within 10 hours of time. I think that was quite interesting and a lot of learning experience. In fact, sort of not of the various groups that presented ultimately their presentation. In fact, two of the groups were also advised to pitch their startup idea in the Himalayan startup track, which is IIT Mandi's incubation program. So yeah, that has been again a very interesting experience for us.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. So Siddhant, since we're talking about entrepreneurship and you are an entrepreneur from our batch, so tell me about what happened after AMP and how has AMP sort of catered to your entrepreneurship dream? How are you carrying it with you or not? I mean, tell us.
Yeah, for sure. But first of all, I would like to say, okay, I'm an ex-entrepreneur. I used to be, and I'm looking forward to become one again. And that's why one of the reason I took the AMP program.
But sorry, I just want to interject you there and say that once an entrepreneur, always an entrepreneur. I think that's the
True.
spirit.
I think true that. True. You really hit to the point because even in the product manager role, they are treated as an entrepreneurial or entrepreneur inside the company as well. So yeah, I take my words back. Thanks for that.
Okay, go on.
Sure. So from there, as I said, okay, the idea for me was to understand different kind of disciplines that were there, and not only with being as an entrepreneur, I started right out of the college, and honestly, whatever I learned during that startup journey, it was a great experience, though with rough patches because I learned through experience altogether. There wasn't any journey or any like college experience that I had in particular from startup experience kind of a thing. And as usual, like in especially in Bangalore, I'm not like even around the India, most of the people either join doctors or engineer, and become an engineer. You can say, okay, I did my engineering just for the sake of doing it, and then I had my own ideas, okay, what to do next kind of thing. So that's why like things clicked and I joined this journey of entrepreneurship. Later on, due to certain reasons, as I said, I had to close it, and one of like what I treat as this different disciplines as pillars of creating a foundation of a good startup or company. That was something that I kind of understood and learned within the AMP program. Different disciplines you treat it as a pillar. If you are a startup entrepreneur or you're looking to start your journey, it is very much important that you understand, at least have a basic understanding of disciplines. You don't need to be an expert around it, but you don't need to be a non. You shouldn't be a person who is not aware about it, because at the start, whenever you're starting a company, you have to do everything by your own self, or maybe at least half or more than half of it, if you have co-founders with yourself. So make sure that at least you have a basic understanding, and that way it really did help me in that particular sector. Now, if I start again in this journey, I would be really looking forward to the learnings that I've learned during the AP program. It would really help me to kind of build the foundation of a new company that I would go for. not only from the ideation stage, but even throughout the scaling and how to do marketing and everything. It will be really helpful in the later on stage. That's how I see like AMP helping me in the future for my own startup. Now, how the learnings in AMP helped me around is one of the major learnings, and I believe if anybody, I can assure you, like even in my cohort and other cohorts as well, were the leadership classes. Leadership classes is something, or leader lessons is something that nobody teaches you as specific in any colleges, maybe being a part of it. And neither it's like a coding exercise which you just get and you implement it. It's not a code. It takes time to kind of learn throughout the things, and also these things are learned from somebody who has experienced those things. Being a leader and who has led different companies or even different projects, whether from taking NGOs or from hosting and handling different universities and so on and so forth. The experience, the rich experience that they had definitely helped me in understanding the nuances of playing around the field within the company. There's a lot of times where these are soft skills, and honestly, once you have gained quite a bit of a hard skills in any particular field, to ferry around the whole journey within the company as well as for the future, leadership skills is one of the most important things that you need to understand. And when I say leadership, leadership doesn't consist of like how to become a leader. It kind of just like AMP has different tracks, leadership also have different tracks. To become a leader, you have to be a good communicator, you have to be a good presenter, you have to be empathetic about who all your seniors are and who all your colleagues are and who are you working with. So that particular session really helped me out, and I am kind of seeing the effects. The effects of the leadership classes comes a little late. You can't see it like right there, right now. So play through it, understand it, and then start implementing slowly into your organization, into your day-to-day life as well, honestly. And you will see the effects later on, maybe by 3 months or 6 months, the effects will start arising of those skills. Yeah, I think I've taken my time in there. I would love to know what Rishab's experience is in here.
Building on what Siddhant said, I think if I also go back to the entrepreneurship bit, it's not only for co-founders or someone who is looking to build a startup. The entire concept also helps in building, it's around building an idea. It could be within an organization. In fact, I've been able to use some of those principles to build an idea from scratch within my work, within an organization. How do we problem solve an idea? So how do we break it into parts, use concept like MISI, mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive. Then create various channels. How do we design the concept, do the user research, what are the channels of communication, what would be the operational strategy, which is how will we go reach out to various beneficiaries, which is so the entire cycle that a startup goes can easily be applied to an idea scratch which is being built within the organization, or problem statement that one has, which have been really helpful. Yeah.
Thank you. That's great. So like Rishabh, I want to ask you now, what do you think, how is it that you're carrying AMP with you, as you go forward? Have your dreams been catered to? What is the specific support? Maybe you came in with a particular problem area and then it was addressed through AMP, and now you're working your way through it in your work life. So how do you think that has worked out?
Yeah, I think so. Fundamentally, as a person, I'm very curious and always wanting to learn more and more. Now, I'll relate that to how that AMP helped me in nurturing this component and in various domains. Such, for example, now let me take knowledge as a component. So AMP helped me, as I told earlier, I didn't know marketing as a track and what are the various principles and how can you use them. Now I've been able to use them in for while I'm working for a not-for-profit. How can we build their e-commerce and market strategy? I now know about product cycle, agile methodology. How do we build an idea or a concept in an iterative format, which is something I have been practicing for last 1 month. That is knowledge. And then I know about data track. If I want to deep dive and learn more around data, I know what to do. Same goes for product. Same goes for, I know resources where how if I want to strengthen my problem solving skills. I have a body of knowledge that course gave me, and I have more resources where I can strengthen my knowledge. Same goes for writing skills. Same goes for presentation skills. So knowledge as well as now the skill. How do I build those skills? I've practiced some of those skills. The program allowed me to practice those skills. Again, problem solving, writing, working on a concept in a very condensed, fast manner. So, example, in a 10-hour course, building a startup idea. Now, I know when I'm working in real time that I don't need to go in and take 1 month to probably create a first draft of something. If I did in 10 hours in a course, maybe I can do it in 15, 20 hours in real life also, the first draft of it. And in third domain would be thinking more wide and depth in career sense. So I had ideas on where and how I want to go in my career. What really helped the career placement sessions with Ratan really helped me to think, okay, what kind of immediate career pivots I can take if I want to, but what would be the steps of if I want to really drastically change my career setup, then what could be the various steps as a ladder to reach those domains where I want to go about in my career. So in terms of knowledge, it has increased my domain of what are the various learning tracks. In terms of skill, it has helped me capture basic foundational skills, and then given me a pathway to deep dive into that. And also then third, help me think, give me more clarity around my career sort of sense. I think that largely covers what usually people also look at AMP while having various expectations, but fundamentally it's about skill, knowledge, pivot, career pivot, network. I think AMP sort of gave me that as a starting point.
Okay. I'm glad that you say that it's a starting point, because our journeys are just starting. We've geared up, we've equipped ourselves, and now we're going out into the world and trying out different things thanks to the great peer community that we have at AMP. So we have lots of ideas that keep coming in. And with this, I just want to encourage all the participants and anyone who's here with us today to please ask questions. If you have any, put them in the Q&A box, or otherwise you could just raise your hand, and then Ulka here will help us have you talk so we can hear you. And I guess we can just wait for a bit. If anybody has any questions at this point, then we can address those. Otherwise, we shall move on. Okay. So, so please just put it in the Q&A. And now we're moving to the final segment of this webinar. We're almost at 8:10. So the last segment is just, a fun segment, really. I mean, you've had a lot of information coming in from these two learners here, co-learners, and you need time to process that. Meanwhile, I'm going to tell you that this particular section is on activities. Okay, we at Harappa are big fans of activities, and we have lots of activities during our learning sessions, and that's what brings in that cohesive feeling that Rishab was talking about. So let's start with the first one, and let me tell you that Siddhant and Rishab, you're the only two people who will be doing the activity. I will just have fun here. Sorry, I can't hear you, Siddhant.
Bring it on. I said Samriddhi.
Okay, great. So both of you will be competing with each other. We are keeping score. Okay. Now
Okay.
scores are going to be kept by our lovely Ulka here. So Ulka, I will need your help on this. Please come on camera. Okay, great. So I mean, for the first segment, I think it's not going to be too hard in keeping score. Okay, so our first activity is two truths and a lie. Okay, so Siddhant and Rishab, take a minute to think about two truths and one lie about your experience at AMP. Okay, and the other person has to guess which one is the truth and which one is the lie. And let's see, who wins this particular round. Okay, so do you want to take a moment, or you're ready already?
I know. I'll take some time.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
so
give
think
me a
about
moment.
two
Yeah.
truths and one lie about your experience at AMP. And Sid will decide what is true for Rishab and vice versa.
Right.
Meanwhile, Ulka, if you have anything to say to our attendees here, please feel free.
Oh, I think just let your questions coming in. This is a learner special webinar. I am just here to manage the logistics. So anything that you have to ask the learners, anything you want to share with us and you want them to share with you, please feel free. The chat box is open, the Q&A is open. You can type in over there and yeah, they will answer for you. And I think my role is extremely minimal here. And yeah, I think I will stop here now and let you all continue.
Okay, so I think that has given Rishab and Siddhant a minute to come up with two truths and a lie. So let's get started. Who wants to go first?
I think Siddhant goes first. No, you being cohort one, I would like to.
Oh, respect. Okay,
yeah.
go on.
So,
Rishab, make note. You're the one who's going to decide if he's lying or being honest. Okay. So yeah.
So the first one would be one of the best classes I liked was marketing master classes that were there. That's the first. And the second would be I really like what scared one of the tracks that scared me the most was economics. And third would be one of the best peer groups.
Okay.
Sorry, one of the best peer groups, as in?
AMP peer group.
Okay, okay, like that. Okay.
All right. Interestingly, Siddhant has not given enough data.
That's the whole point of this activity.
Yeah.
You have to go
So,
with your spidey sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Assuming Siddharth has a background in startup and customer success, it would be really difficult to say that he didn't like marketing. I think he liked marketing. So that's a truth.
Okay. Okay. We'll find out.
Peer group. Yeah, I think that might also be truth. I think the possibility is economics, being scared of economics. Startup people usually don't, that me being judgmental, but startup people usually don't like economics. So
you think that
that's my-
startup, the economics bit is a lie?
Yeah, probably, but I am being judgmental, also being judgmental here. But yeah,
Okay, feel free. You're just supposed to use your judgment
yeah,
right now because you don't have enough
yeah,
data. However,
yeah.
Siddhant, I don't want you to disclose the answers right now. I want Rishab to go next.
All right. So first would be I completed all my assignments on time. Uh, um, our group, one of our leadership group, pulled a 14-hour all-nighter for the leadership assignment because we didn't do our work properly before that. Um, the third would be I've not not completed two of the tracks, the sort of readings of two of the tracks yet.
Two tracks, like you didn't complete them, or readings of two
The
tracks?
readings of two
Oh,
tracks
okay.
yet.
I feel like a horrible student. Okay, go on. What do you think, Siddhant?
So one of the truth I believe would be pulling up the all-nighter, because we also did that. So for sure, that should be a truth, I'm assuming. The another truth, not submitting assignments on time. I am taking, no, I think, okay, that's a tricky one.
He said he submitted all his assignments on time.
Oh, he submitted. Oh,
Yeah.
I think that would be a lie, is what I believe, because
Okay.
readings,
He might just trick you with that. Think about it.
yeah, okay.
Okay.
Readings for two tracks, that would be like you. I think what I remember is you didn't go through the reading of two tracks altogether, right? Okay, interesting. That seems to be like a bit impossible, is what I believe. So I think
That's also a lie. He has to give you two truths and one lie. So you have to decide now.
I will take. Okay, I have to take you very interesting.
Can you tell us? Okay, I'll help you a little, Siddhant, since you're from batch one. So, Rishab, Rishab, which two tracks are we talking about here?
Irrelevant question.
Okay, great. Siddhant, go on. You
Take
have
one,
to take
Siddhant.
the call now.
Go for it. Go take your guess.
Okay, I think I'll go with the third one. That's a lie, but I'm assuming you submitted it all on time. But let's see.
Okay, so Siddhant, now you have to reveal the answers. What do you think? Where did Rishabh stand?
I think he really picked up the lie, because for me, I wasn't scared. I was much more excited for economics program because it really helped me to understand. Like beforehand, I was honestly scared because I thought economics is all about money and everything. But once I went ahead with the program, I understood it's not related about money at all. Like although people take it as a one part of it, but it's all about a thinking, a type of a way of thinking. Economics will really help in kind of molding your mind or giving you a type of thinking. Maybe you might have heard of a way of design thinking or agile thinking. Economics is also a way to think around like thinking through a large scale. So yeah, I think congratulations, Rishab. My life.
Okay, awesome.
Fingers
Uh,
crossed.
okay, now Rishabh, your turn. Give
Yeah.
your score.
So the lie is that I completed all assignments on time. By
It
Ulka
was
being
a
present there,
giveaway, Siddhant. You should have got
Ulka being
that.
present there, I really can't pull off a lie on that one.
I would have caught on to you, you know. Rishab, I have
So
messaging.
when I said readings, I actually have not read the books of the economic and marketing. I could not complete that, which I still consider
That's why I
incomplete.
asked you which tracks are you talking about.
Okay.
Because
Now,
essential ones I've done, but the books definitely is more longer one. So yeah.
Okay. So that brings us to the end of round one. We're going to quickly go to round two. Not going to take a lot of your time any further. All those of you who are still here with us and watching us, thank you so much for bearing with us. We will go into round two now. Ulka, please keep score. Rishab 1, Siddhant 0. I'm so sorry. Siddhant, you have to buck up in the next round. Okay. So the next and the final round is a quiz. Okay. It's okay. And it's a buzzer round. Okay. It's directly the buzzer round. We don't have time for like a larger quiz. So buzzer, as always, is going to be just like you did it in class, the raise hand feature. So whoever one of you can raise hand sooner will have pressed the buzzer, and then we're going to go into taking your question. Okay. So are you ready, both of you? Of like with your mouse aligned to the raise hand feature. Okay. Okay. Questions are easy, honestly. Okay. So your first question is, where is the Harappa head office located? And okay, Ulka, you have to tell me who raised hand first. And by the way, I want the exact area. Okay, I'm not just looking for the city here. Okay, so Rishab raised his hand first, right? Ulka, you'll have to keep track of this.
The raised hand feature shows it through chronology. So yeah.
Okay,
Rishab.
awesome. Okay, great. So Rishab,
Yeah, it's in Okla. It's in Okla, Delhi.
Okla
I
again?
I think Rishab, you need to be more specific because you're
Yes.
from Delhi, so you'll have to.
Okay. I really don't know. Can't go beyond this.
Okay, I'm just gonna listen to Siddhant's answer as well, but or maybe we'll just give it to you. Let's see. Yeah, Siddhant.
you can go ahead with Rishab because I also want and know this much information only.
Ulka, do you want to give us the full answer, but we'll give the point to Rishab?
Yes, the full answer is I can like literally recite the whole address. Harappa Learning Private Limited, 266 Okla Phase 3 is our office. So if any of you are interested in meeting us in person, we are happy to host you. Please let us know as we keep hosting our learners from time to time. Definitely, please do let us know.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. So, Ulka, please keep score. You have to announce the winner at the end of this.
Absolutely.
Easy for my
Siddhant, please, do this for the batch. Okay. So, so your next question, hands on buzzer. Hear me out. Who teaches marketing at AMP? And what is his designation? Okay. I mean, it doesn't have to be his designation at Harappa. I'm talking about his designation like with his latest organization. So Siddhant raised his hand first, right?
I knew the past one.
That's why I told you, listen to the question first. But take it, go on, like whatever you know. But think about it.
Okay, as far as I know, from my latest talk, his name is Sid, and currently he's a consultant, and he is consulting various brands as of now, is what I know. Exactly what designation I should give, that's a bit of a challenge for me. But I believe should be branding consulting, or I'm not sure. So I'll give it up.
Okay, so Ulka, is this the right answer? Is this what we're looking for, or you want to tell us?
This is the right answer, and I just met Siddhant, I think last Thursday, in Bangalore. So this is how he is giving the answer. So he had an edge over there. But Siddhant, why don't you share full name of Sids, because he's sort of your namesake almost, and might help our attendees to sort of look him up and know more about him. And you can also share his previous designation.
Yeah.
So it's not Siddhant, it's Siddharth, and his previous designation was he was a chief marketing officer in Epicamia. I hope everyone had at least once a while you had Epicamia, that small packages that you see, yogurt packaging, who kind of brought yogurt in India, is what I would say, and now is the brand or market leader in the yogurt segment. So yeah, that's whom we got taught in marketing. So yeah.
Awesome. So okay. So then, okay, hands down. Now we just have a total of 5 questions. Don't worry, I'm not going to grill you too much. But the third question for the evening, are we ready? Okay, this is probably the easiest. But okay, what is the name of the additional platform that AMP gives access to sharpen your skills? Okay, Rishab, you're just too quick. Yeah. Okay, go on.
So Thrivesty is the additional platform that opens up various courses where we can deep dive into various skill sets and modules that are being taught as part of the program, and maybe go deep into various skills like problem solving, writing. So Thrivesty is the name. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Ulka, you're keeping score, right? I'm also, but then, yeah. Okay. Okay, so the fourth one, all the best to both of you. Do not jump at it, okay? I mean, you guys listen to the entire question and then press the buzzer, okay? Who is the dean at AMP at Sol, and which institute was he also a founding dean of?
Erase it, but yeah, I
But
waited.
yeah, I broke the rule. I broke the
You
rule.
broke the
Go with
rule,
Siddhant.
Rishabh. You're disqualified. I mean, okay, no, Ulka will take a call. I don't want to
Yeah,
be the bad cop here.
No. Samriddhi, it's your call. I'm just here keeping score. It's your call.
Okay. So, okay, you guys decide amongst yourself. Who should we pick?
Go ahead, Siddhant. Go ahead, Siddhant.
Okay. So our beloved leadership class teacher, it's Pramad Raj Sinha, and he was also a dean of ISP, founding dean.
Awesome. Great. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Rishabh, but for this last question, okay, again, listen to the entire question, although this is a small one, so you can just rush. It's okay. Okay. How many learning tracks are there at AMP, and can you name them all?
Okay.
Oh, okay. Great. Rishab just acing it. Okay, go on, tell us.
Yeah, 5 tracks: business, marketing, product, leadership, and data. There are 5 more within the business track, which is economics, operations, strategy, entrepreneurship. Yeah, I think I missed one. Finance.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Patience, Rishab.
Okay, great. Yeah, awesome. I did not remember them like that. You were very quick with it. Okay. So, Ulka, we're done for the evening, at least with my questions. So, tell us who has won this final segment. Who are you sending the Harappa hamper to?
Harappa hamper goes
didn't know.
to a drum roll, Rishab with 4 points. Siddhant, you received 2 points and great effort, but I
I
think
think I'll
Rishab
receive the
was closer.
consolation prize.
Of course, yes, absolutely. And also to Samriddhi for being such an amazing host, and what a lovely and fun game. So thank you, Samriddhi.
Thank you. Thank you. So that brings us to the end of this webinar, which is called Tailoring Your Dreams the AMP Way. I hope all of you joining us from anywhere across India and the world had a good time today evening. I personally had a great time with my fellow peers from the community. We all enjoy, connecting with each other, and we're all constantly connected. So thank you so much for being a patient audience. And thank you so much, Siddhant and Rishab, for being with us today and sharing your experiences with the rest of the world. And yes, the admissions for cohort 4 are open. So whoever's watching, if you need any further clarity, we are there to help you out. We also have the Harappa website that you can go take a look at, and then you can reach out to Ulka, who's always there to answer your queries. So Ulka, would you like to add something?
I think it's always fun and always, I don't know, interesting to have any kind of conversation with you all. So as a program manager, I look forward to it. And hopefully we have Samriddhi on board to conduct more and more such webinars, some fun games. And yeah, hope to continue this conversation in the next webinar. And thank you so much for joining in. And as she said, admissions are now open. You can get in touch with us to talk about it. You can apply on our website, go over the brochure and share any queries that you have. And see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Thank you, Samriddhi. Thank you, Ilka. Thank you, Siddhant.
Bye.